Hi, I grew up on a dairy farm in Springport, Michigan with my parents, my two brothers, an entire herd of brown Swiss cows. And even though I now consider myself a city girl and I appreciate all the conveniences of urban living, I still live by all the values that I learned growing up on a farm. And as you can see, I had a lot to learn about cows and about life and what cows can teach you about life if you're paying attention to what they need. And one of the first things you'll learn about cows is punctuality. Cows are creatures of habit. If you teach them to show up at 3 o'clock in the milking parlor, they will show up every day at 3 o'clock in the milking parlor. And any deviation from their schedule really does cause them a great amount of consternation. And as my friends will tell you, punctuality is one of my hot buttons as well. And over the years, I've tried to, temper that a little bit, but still, I know that when I give my word to somebody, someone is depending on me to be where I said I was going to be, when I said I was going to be there. And so it's really about respecting other people's time as well. Probably the second big thing you'll learn about dairy cows is they're extraordinarily curious. For the most part, they lead pretty boring lives. There's not a lot of deviation from their schedules. So when something new and different comes into their environment, they're going to have a good look at that. So be it a small child or a potbelly pig, they need to see what's new and different. And so I'm pretty sure no one out there has a life as boring as a cow's life, but always be ready to look at what's new and different in your environment as well. Also be interested in what other people are interested in. This makes you more interesting. So again, be aware of other people's interests, find new and different things in your environment, and try to learn something new every day. Celebrate diversity. There's actually not 4, but 6 different breeds of dairy cow: the Holstein, the Jersey, Ayrshire, Milking Shorthorn, Brown Swiss, and Guernsey. And all of their milk is just a little bit different. Which means everybody brings something different to the table. So Jersey cow's milk is really good for butter. It's high butter fat. Brown Swiss have high protein. That's good for cheese. And the ubiquitous black and white Holstein cow, they're just milk producing machines. Ruminate. Sometimes we bite off more than we can chew. And we need to let that digest a little bit so we can better understand, some big ideas. Maybe we have a big problem that we're thinking about. Cows need to do the same thing with their food. They are part of a class of animals called ruminants. Cows have 4 stomachs. They can regurgitate food out of the first 2. This is important because they need to chew that cud, which is that material that they've regurgitated, in order to break down the cellulose material in the plants. So they're able to digest it and use that for their nutrients. So you've ruminated on things, you thought things out, but sometimes you might need to talk it out with a good friend. Dairy farming is also a lot of hard work. It is a 365-day, 24-hour operation, and it never stops. So you have to be there every day. People are depending on you, and you also need to be ready to lend a hand. Another part of the success is planning ahead. Success doesn't happen overnight. So just like preparing crops to harvest at the right time, you need to make sure that you set yourself up for success. But even though you've worked hard and you've planned, some things don't always go your way. There's always something happening, something going wrong, cows get sick. It's the nature of having a business dependent on nature. So you need to be prepared to ride it out. Have an emergency fund. Make sure you're carrying the right insurance. Don't get into debt or don't have debt that you're not able to control if something drastic does go wrong. Because farming is not a job, it's a labor of love. And my family could certainly be making a lot more money having real jobs, but they love farming and they love the successes that come with it. So for me, I've learned to always do something that I believe in and that I'm passionate about and that I can put in a hard day's work. So if you're always doing something you love and that you're passionate about, you can look back on what you've accomplished and be really proud of it. So I want to thank you all for allowing me to share my love of cows with you tonight. And remember, be punctual, be curious, work hard, and enjoy the rewards of your success. And I hope that comes in the form of a big bowl of ice cream. Thank you.